Word up. So, yeah. Another day in rehab. This is my room. My bed. So a lot smaller than the one I had in detox. I have to show the room. But my bunkmate's out there in the rec room right now, so see what happens here. I have to go off camera. This is my dresser, my water, and this is supposed to be decaf coffee, but I'm not really sure whether they're switching it or not. So, like a pencil eraser I picked up outside. I don't know why. And a shell I got in detox, and a little NA keychainy thingy. It's NA. And the books. I got more books in there. Stuff. And I've been reading this one. This is like a Buddhist recovery program, so refer it to the other shit. And the dresser, pretty much mine. Like I just have the one drawer full of stuff, and then my bunkmate doesn't use it, so the rest of it's empty. And we have the mirror and a little recovery workbook thingy. And this is my closet. See my closet. The very few amenities I have. Most of the shit I have it's been given to me since I've been here. Like brought my own clothes, but didn't have any soap or anything like that, which was all provided in detox. And like here, it's basically like you got to order all your own shit or get it from somebody else. So it's been hooking me up with some stuff, some of the staff members, and yeah, I won the coloring book. I don't know if you saw my coloring book, and my pens, and a couple bowls of ramen. I won at the bingo game last week, so yeah, there's like prizes at bingo. Yeah, it's a decent room. Like we don't have our own temperature control, so like whatever the heat's set up at for the house is what we get, and then like if we're not happy with that, like we have a fan, um, or we can open up the windows. I can kind of show you outside. Yeah, it's pretty chill. It's on a little farm here basically, and there's trees all around us, and then there's like apple trees around the property, and there's a bunch of deer out here. So the bucks like were out here grazing for apples the other day or yesterday, and we have a garden up the hill back there. I don't want to go that way because it looks into somebody else's room, but yeah, it's pretty nice. It's not as cozy as the detox was, but like most people go over there like, basically just to chill and dry out, and then they just go back out in the world, which is what I was gonna do. But they talked me into coming over here, so I actually stay clean, and not go out and start bullshitting again. So it is what it is. What's up, Silverwolf? What's up, CC? Good to see you. Yeah, so waiting for dinner. I took like a little napper, and then I was gonna, I don't know what I was gonna do. I'm just kind of avoiding. There's like some people around here in these types of spaces that just kind of fuck with you. Hey, what's up, Richard Madsen? Good to see you. Of course, everybody just go live, but that's all right. All gravy. I don't have, a whole lot. I thought I had something else. Yeah, basically just like hanging out here. It's like still like processing everything. Like I was talking to my counselor earlier. We've got like multiple counselors, and then we got the physician and the therapist, and it's like okay, so like even like 20 days into my sobriety now, like really like all the weed isn't even like fully out of my system. So yeah, I'm still like constantly wanting to smoke pot, but there's none available around here. So I'm like, But like all the other cravings are pretty much out. Like I feel like I want to go get a drink or nothing like that. So yeah, that's good. Just smoking like a shit ton of cigarettes, drinking hella coffee. What's up, Dave? Good to see you. Yeah, it's like I've still got a while to go here. So it's my 8th day. I got 22 days at least. And I'm thinking my doctor already said he'd approve it. I might just stay till like through Christmas. Um, if they're gonna do that though, I might try to move into one of the single rooms just because if I get another bunkmate, I don't know how it's gonna go. It's like just so many different personalities. Sandy, pop culture curator, good to see you. Yeah, there's a lot of pessimism. They're like, well, it's your first time in rehab, so you're probably gonna relapse and end up back here again. Well, okay. I'm hoping I don't have to go through detox again. But at least if I do go through detox again, I won't be coming off of like, well, ideally, I won't be coming off of like 3 different substances all at the same time. I went into detox on the 30th of last month. Who's knocking? Hello. How you doing, Kat?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. You guys running around yelling at everybody.
Yeah.
You need some snuggles or something.
Aw. You can come in here if you want.
Nice to see you.
All right, good to see you. Oh, detox is way better than prison. Yeah, so that was one of our staff. They're all cool, but they have to like check in on us every hour and stuff. You know, make sure we're not, in our, well, doing anything we're not supposed to be doing and stuff. And just generally checking on the progress. So I guess that's what I was saying. Like, there's people in here who will kind of fuck with you a little bit. And if you say you feel like people are fucking with you, then they're probably more likely to fuck with you. For sure, for sure. Yeah, single room would be a lot better. We had all single rooms in the detox center, and they get here and they were like, well, it's gonna be like 30 grand to stay in this double room for the month, which is I'm not paying all of that. Like a good deal of it's covered by my insurance, but I will have to I'm still gonna have to figure out like a payment arrangement for the rest. They completely like the detox, they waived all my fees, so that was cool with them. Um, but I know it's not gonna be like that every time. So yeah, but it's like 30 grand to share a room with somebody. And then I think it's more like 50 grand to get your own room for a month. It's a lot. It's a lot. I can't tell if it's decaf or not. I don't know. Detox was like the Ritz in a way, like, but like a lot of those people in there, like you don't have to work the program at all. Like all the meetings are there and all that shit, but it's all optional. Like you're not like here they kind of like they're like there's an actual process where you graduate and so if you want to graduate you actually have to do the fucking work. Like they don't force you to here, but they will come and bug your ass. Like so yeah, deal with a roommate for sure. The one I have now is really chill, but there's definitely a couple people here that I'm like trying to actively avoid, which is one of the things they teach us not to do. It's like, oh, go and deal with that shit, but at the same time, like it's like some jailhouse level bullshit where I'm like, okay, like if I like address this conflict, I'm probably gonna end up in like an actual altercation with this person, and yeah, not really trying to do that. So better to avoid if there's no like reason to jump into it. But when they go out of their way to fuck with you and do shit, it's just like I don't know. On some level, like you can't avoid it. I don't know. I try not to like judge other people's intentions. Realize that I can't, fucking read other people's minds and shit. I can only like go with the behavior I see and try to figure out how I'm gonna deal with it, how I'm gonna wiggle around it. Like yeah, definitely not worth it. Correct, Sandy. Especially not in here because we don't have guards or anything like that. There's nobody's gonna be like gonna end up with the cops being called out here or some stupid shit, and no good. Then you might end up in jail. Yeah, so that's about it. Yes, exactly. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna put that up. Every time they say something about a higher power, just think about the connections we all have and believe in that. And thank you. Yeah, that's pretty much like, like my counselor's pretty in the know, and he's telling me the same thing, kind of like even if you think of like science kind of as a higher power or something like that, I don't know. Like I still think that sounds kind of weird, but it kind of makes sense. And in this book, it had like um, what we call our wise mind is our higher power. So it's like actually like the better nature in yourself that like knows, what the right thing to do is, even though it's the hard thing to do. And like that's your higher power. Just trust yourself. As long as you're not fucked up. So I'm trying to do that. But it's like it's hard. It's like adjusting to a whole new way of life. Like I've never been sober as an adult, or yeah, I feel like I'm like going through middle school, high school all over again, like and trying to relearn all those social situations and stuff that I used to get wrong and avoid all the time. And so now I just have to deal with shit. But it's also like, not everybody's here for the same length of time. Like a lot of people have been here a lot longer, or they've been here multiple times. And it's like you gotta see people like come and go, and then got people who have been here for like 2 weeks. They're like, well, I've been in the house longer than you. I'm like, well, yeah, but technically I've been clean longer than you. So you got that whole shit going on. And it's like I don't know. And then I was like talking to the staff about like I was like, well, should I just like keep to myself and go hermit? And they're like, well, you can do that, but it's not really the way that you work this program. Like you kind of have to put yourself in those tough situations and learn to deal with it. Because once you get back out of this place, you're gonna have to deal with tough social situations, and you're not gonna have the fucking room to go hide in. Well, maybe you do, but then like you're not really, yeah, going back into like avoidance behavior. We're calling it, we call it avoidance behavior, and that's like an indicator that you're probably gonna go out and fucking relapse. Like that's the thing you're not supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be facing the world head on with your new skills. Yeah, that was great. So I started coloring this picture. I haven't finished it yet. They call this an advanced coloring book, and I see why now. And I have this is like shitty because they're gel pens, and gel pens like run like a motherfucker, and like they bleed everywhere and they smear. But I mean, so that's my rehab giraffe. Oh, still in progress. Oh, am I tilting it the wrong way? Yes. I am using the Wi-Fi in here, and it's kind of spotty. So apologies. And I'll show you some of the other shit I did. I've got it on my door right now, but. A little bit of art time in here. So this is my postcard I made. Maybe I can just turn the camera around. That'd probably be easier, huh? Oh, that's off camera. Shit, wrong one. Sorry, hold on. Damn it, Jim. I forgot how to use StreamYard now. So this is the postcard I made in over here. This side, and the other side. I love the astronaut on a unicorn. You can't see that. There's like one that's on like a regular ass horse, but the other one's on a unicorn. I think he's great. And then this was from my art therapy and detox. And yeah, I'm like really into the space stuff apparently. So I don't know how much of that you can see, but we're just like it's a collage, but we're just like cutting it out of like magazines like National Geographic and shit. And they did one of those over here too, but it was for the women's group, so we didn't really do that. But we're supposed to have art therapy too, like co-ed art therapy, but I haven't been there for it yet. So but yeah, like doing art, and we had just the acoustic guitar in the detox center, but over here we have an acoustic guitar in this house and the house down the hill. I don't know about the one up the hill. I didn't see one up there. there's a piano in this house and a piano in the house up the hill, and then we have an electric guitar in this house and a couple of hand drums and like one of those I can't remember what you call it, but it's like a steel drum or something. Like makes like multiple like, tones depending on where you hit it and stuff. Um, what? Oh, sorry, am I sidetracked? Okay, well, y'all can work that one out. Um, so yeah, I've been able to do music. There's like a couple of like actual music theory books and stuff, and then I'm supposed to be like actually learning music theory and how to read and write music as like maybe a career path. What's up? What's up?
Not open the door so aggressive.
Yeah, it's so aggressive.
I am activated. No, I'm gonna start using that term way too much, and everyone will be like, "What do you mean by that?"
Yeah,
You don't need to know.
you don't need to know him.
Don't ask. You're activating me even more. When I see activity of the yogurt, I'm like, nope.
Yeah, nope, not that one. That's my bunkmate. He's feeling good today. He's not been sleeping well, so today he finally got some sleep, and it looks like he's feeling better. So it's cool. If I can't get anybody on camera, it'd be a HIPAA violation. HIPAA violation. Yeah, activated is the new word we use instead of triggered. Because like instead of you triggering me, it's I get activated by X, and so that's what I mean by that. And I was gonna ask him if he wanted to be on this live with me, but then somebody else in the house was like, even if you got like a signed consent form, like they could still change their minds later and be like, nope, HIPAA violation. And oh, that would suck. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's the other thing I like about this recovery Dharma thing. It's like it's all about so they call it how the Buddhist practices and principles. Oh, how to use the Buddhist practices and principles to heal the suffering of addiction. So it's like a very different like terminology and like just way of thinking about it, and like the way that like not only do we cause other people suffering through our addictions, but we cause ourselves suffering. It's like the primary thing. We're already suffering, then we. So y'all just reminded me of that. So, um, oh, and yeah, I've got to like undo my notifications on the phone and things like that because I keep getting all these fucking notifications. But either way, it's good. All good things. I don't know if I should. We've got the argument here. Oh yeah. Yeah, some of the people in here are forced to take the program or they're taking the program for whatever. Everybody has their own reasons. Um but yeah, I am one of the very, few people who like chose on my own independently to be here. Like it wasn't like somebody in my family gave me an ultimatum or courts gave me an ultimatum or at least as far as I can tell. Like a lot of people were like, "Oh, I was going to lose my job. I was going to lose my spouse. I was forced because I'm going to go to jail." There's some people who are here despite the fact that they may go to jail or prison anyway, which I think is commendable. They were like, "Well, fuck it. If I'm going to go to jail for some shit caused by my addiction, then I might as well go and try to like actually work on that shit before I go into jail because nothing about being in jail or prison is actually going to keep you clean. If you want to get drugs and shit, you're probably going to get them in there too, right? Like it's pretty much usually the way it goes. So like I was like, well, yeah, I was worried about losing my job, but nobody threatened me. Like I was just like fucking. Yeah, it's Sunday, and the football bros are out. They basically take over the living room. I'm like, okay, they can do that. That's their thing. They do that. And some of those people are the people I was talking about earlier. So I'm like, yeah, I'd rather not be out there. I don't really dig on the footballs anyway. And I like the European football, but but yeah, it's just not my crowd. It's not my clique. And yeah, I'm doing like anything else. And we have dinner coming up in a little bit here, so we'll be doing that. What else do we have after dinner? Let me go look. We have like a pretty fixed schedule. Sundays are pretty chill. Hmm, it's another fucking AA meeting. It's like I take them or leave them. Usually I'll like go in and see who the speakers are and what they're about, and then like if I don't feel like sitting through the fucking group, then I don't, And I try to like, accidentally miss the prayer shit in the beginning and all the, redundant literature they read at the beginning of every meeting. Because like after this, like then we're gonna have meetings like pretty much all week. Um, we had our smart recovery meeting, which I find like infinitely more helpful on Friday night, but like like when they do the AANA shit, like it's everybody in the rec room and all the staff will bug you to go do it. And, like you can't make a hullabaloo around the house. Like you're expected to be respectful. But when we're doing our smart recovery meeting up in the living room where I was this morning, it's like, oh, okay, well now there's like people like yucking it up and playing games in the rec room and like nobody says shit. Like, so I filed a grievance about that. I was like, hey, if you're gonna let them like continue playing games and shit over there during our meeting, like at least put us like in a room where it's quiet. Like that would be more respectful. And then we're supposed to do a life ring group too, which is like I think it's men's groups. Can't remember. I think life ring is for men, but it's also like a secular recovery thing. But they canceled it last week for this fucking special AA meeting that they bring in. Apparently, they do it once a month. They just like cancel the life ring meeting and just bring AA in again, which I think is bullshit again. I'm like, okay, because technically this is supposed to be a secular recovery house, but they do definitely seem to fit the 12-step programs, and those guys get special treatment, and we do not. So food's good. Yeah, no complaints about the food. Again, not quite as gourmet as where I was prior to this, but it's eatable, and yeah, it's definitely not jailhouse food. That's for sure. I've eaten in jail. Not, yeah, it's not that. Um, Pretty much like the standard breakfast every morning. It's like bacon, eggs, sausage, potatoes, bowl of fruit, and there's some extra stuff like on the side. Like they always have hard boiled eggs out. You can have that, but there's like always cereal and oatmeal out that you can eat any time of day. So that's the other thing too. So what's up, Maynard Saves? Good to see you. Yes, detox was the shiznit. I miss my detox fellows. Like, it was like one of the staff members and I over there got like pretty tight. And then towards the end of it, like I was like, well, we're like kind of friends. You want to like stay in connection? And they were like very straight up, like, we're not friends. Even though we've gotten kind of tight here, we're not friends. We're not going to be able to be friends. A, it's against the rules, and B, it's unethical, and C, and D. And then like on the last day, they were like, have you like really haven't accepted that we're not going to speak to each other again? And I was like, no, I have not, because we were like very tight. Well, at least I felt very tight with them, as tight as you can be with somebody in a week. And yeah, like they opened up to me as much as I did to them, but in a way, sort of ish. I don't know, that maybe sounds a little bit delusional. Maybe it is. I'm still remembering it a certain way. Yeah, exactly. Roam, smoke cigarettes, like whenever, well, wherever, more or less, like, outside of the house, over there. And yeah, like free access to the TV. And we had TVs in our room, which we don't have here. But I didn't watch the TV in my room at all, like, which I find hilarious. The only time I did watch TV was with that staff member I was talking about, when they would put on a movie. It'd be like, hey, you want to watch a movie with me? Or at the end of the night, we'd be like playing games together. And then like somebody else would put on a movie and be like, okay, let's go watch the movie. And so yeah, it was like rough. And then my other detox dude, I do have his number, and he did like say like, um, basically that I could contact him for support and stuff like that outside. So, what is up, Sammy? Good to see you. Much love. Yeah, I know. Gang's all here, giving the support. I love it. Like, that's what I keep telling people. Like, well, I didn't tell so many people here about. I've told a few people about my channel, but I didn't like tell them specifics other than like, just my people's, and that I have a support group outside of here that's not like necessarily recovery based, but like everybody's very supportive of my recovery and me doing what I need to do for me. And so I always like very much appreciate that. Having a wide social circle and different people that I can talk to. And, even though I'm historically like horrible at actually asking people for help, there are people that I can ask for help whenever I can get my head out of my ass long enough to do so. So, yeah, no, very lucky guy. I guess. So that's that. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Yeah, I'm like, not shaven. I shaved my neck beard, but everything else, so it's like just let it go. Just let it go. So we have to check out our razors and stuff. That's the other thing I didn't have to do over there. Like, not concerned about. Well, they were concerned about me doing stuff to myself, but it's not at the same level as here. Like they're a little bit more like, and especially because like there's no locks on the doors. They're well, now that I think about it, there weren't locks on the doors there except for the one room that I stayed in the last night, which was like the master suite. Like they gave me like the best room in the house, which was technically supposed to be for women, I guess. I think that's what it was for. But it was like the one room next to the main office, and it was the only room in the house that had its own bathroom and shower and everything, and it was just like super super nice. And they gave me that room the last night before I checked out. But I also realized it was like the shortest trip from there to the door. So, and they had moved somebody else into my room downstairs. So maybe that was their rationale. Like, oh, that's easier, quicker path to get them to the door and out, like out of here. So, but just like really really cool people over there too. Like cool people here too. It's just like more tight knit, I guess. Because it was a smaller place, like here we've got like 30 plus residents or something. Maybe, I don't even know how many we have now. Two to a room, and how many rooms are there? Yeah, it's a lot. And then there's three houses, and not quite as much staff per person, so which makes it more difficult. Like over there, it was like during the day, like almost a 1-to-1 to with staff to residents, and then yeah, there was only like 8 people in the house max over there. Much smaller house, and not a wide open property like this one. This is like a wide open property. Like I can actually like you know scale a fence pretty easily and get off the property, which that's why they're like, well, you're not actually supposed to go up over that hill. I can go to the top of the hill, but not beyond it. But then there's not really anybody to prevent you from doing so. So it's like you could disappear into those fucking hills, and probably nobody'd ever find you again because you get fucked by a cow or something. I don't know, but there's a lot of cows around here. We were making a joke about that because the cows broke down the gate over here at this side last night while we were doing karaoke. And so the cows were just like loose on the property for several hours. And they're big, big fucking, they're not cows, I guess. They're actually bulls. We keep calling them cows, but those are the bulls. and yeah, just busted through the gate, and we're just like roaming around the property, and then they were like, well, yeah, so like nobody can actually be like, everybody who was in the other house had to get a ride up in the golf cart with staff because they didn't want anybody to get, killed by a cow. And it reminded me of that meme where it's like, oh yeah, just the statistical probability of you being killed by a cow is very low, but it's never zero. And yeah. Oh, they're in town. Your two friends in Cali? Yeah. Well, we're not in town. We are outside of town, but yeah, it's within the city limits, I guess, sort of. When we were coming out here, I'm like, there's no fucking way this is in the city limits, but they assure me that it is. It has a mailing address and that postal code or something. I don't know. Maybe we're not as far out of town as it seems like, but when you take the back roads and then you just, yeah. But if you keep going that way, you'll end up at the beach eventually, I guess. So, or Bodega Bay. I don't know. I haven't been out here really in like years. I was like tripping on like some of the stuff that I did recognize, but I'm like, that has to be from my childhood because I haven't been out here as an adult, like anywhere near this. So yeah, like a flashback trip down memory lane. So yeah, that's it. I don't know. That's it. And then I'm like, they were supposed to take me down to the EDD office to get my SDI tomorrow. And then now they're like, well, it might not be tomorrow. It might be the next day. And I'm like, okay, well, we're getting awful close to Thanksgiving. Like, and I already can't place an order for this week because all the orders were due yesterday to get them out by Monday so we could get the orders back by Wednesday. Like usually you'd place the order on Monday and get it by Thursday. Obviously that's not happening. Or Tuesday, get it by Thursday, whatever thing. It's like a 3-day thing. So now they're like, pushing everything back. One of the new guys who just got here a couple days ago said he'd buy me a pack of smokes, which I was okay, cool, that'd be awesome, and then I'll somehow pay you back. But yeah, I hate asking people for things. Yeah, like, especially for help. But yeah, especially when it's like material things. Like I don't want to ask people for their commodities and cigarettes. You know how we get without cigarettes. I did get this freaking vape, which is supposed to be tobacco flavored, but it tastes like fucking caramel, straight up. But I was like, and then it was supposed to. One of the reasons I got it is because it's like supposed to be 3,000 puffs, and it was supposed to cost me under $20, and then it ended up being over $20. Hey, what's up, Bree? Good to see you. We have a bunch of bees and yellow jackets out here too. And yeah, all of the bagulis. And we've got yeah, well, we've got the garden out back, which is like an actual like fruits and veggies and stuff. But then in the front, we've got like oodles of flowers, sunflowers especially, which is cool. So yeah, I got this vape, which was, yeah, it's not my favorite, but I mean, I guess it gets me by. But I've been smoking the fucking cigarette butts. I don't want to ask people for cigarettes. And then like some people have noticed and they're like, oh, I know that you don't like asking people for cigarettes. Here, have a cigarette. And there's a couple of people who I'm tighter with that I'm not, that I'm more comfortable asking for cigarettes, but I still don't want to like ask too much. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. So I guess the whole point is just like once I actually get my disability, hopefully I get it this week. I'll still have to wait until next week to actually order any commodities. It's just like just something I'm gonna have to deal with for the next week. And then my some of my family members are supposed to come out to visit on Saturday, which is kind of a setup because I don't know if I'm supposed to tell them or not that they're kind of forced to do therapy with me. It's not like just a visiting, but they're actually going to be forced to do therapy with me and the head honcho here, which is like standard for everybody. I guess I could let them know. I thought about setting my parents up because I know my dad already agreed to coming out here, and I know my mom would probably want to if she is able to. And then I was like, oh, well, I'm going to have them come out on different weeks and blah, blah, blah. And then I was telling people I was thinking about like setting up a parent trap to where I just like invite them both out on the same day. and then just like put them in a fucking awkward situation. Be like, oh yeah, by the way, you both have to be here, and we're all going to therapy. It'll be great. Yeah, that's probably a dick move though. But they can bring me shit on that day as well, like types of stuff. So I can make a little wish list. Um, but yeah, neither of them smoke, and I think they'd probably be pretty, I don't know if they'd want to. Oh, that I think I can do. Let me see. Um, hopefully, so fuck shit up. Oh, fucking everything up. I'm all, let me know if anything gets fucked up. Oh, you can't. Um, oh, that's not right. Copy that. Am I still here? Oh, I am still here. Yay, it works. Oh, I was frozen. Well, it shows I'm still live, so I was getting the thingamajigger for the thing. And yeah, I forgot that I could do that. So I'll actually have to link my PayPal account with my account here. We've got like, basically we like give them our information and they set up a tab for us and then like go and pay it off. So that's the way I've been doing it. I pretty much just maxed out my overdraft protection out to get that vape. And then yeah, it's like it'd be nice to have some good soap. I'm almost out of the body wash my roomie gave me and toothpaste. One of the staff brought me like a whole bottle of non-alcoholic mouthwash so I can wash my damn mouth. And yeah, like I can order my own food, so I'm not just stuck with the food that's here and drinking just coffee and water and well, tea. That's basically the three things I have here. But I'm like, yeah, I haven't had a well today. And one of the residents from the other house gave me a sparkling lemonade thingy, so I actually had one carbonated beverage. But yeah, again, like detox, they had like sparkling waters and Coke and Coca-Cola, not cocaine. Somebody probably had cocaine, but it wasn't me. um, yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's appreciated. Anything you can drop in there, like yeah, we can do Amazon orders out here, but I feel like it would not be cost effective. Like we should just do the orders that they do that go out 'cause it's gonna be cheaper, and then the staff just brings it here, and we get a bag or whatever. And some people here are like, I don't even think they eat the food here. Like they order their own shit, and we've each got like our little cubby in the pantry, and mark all your shit in the fridge and all of that. But I've heard some people were stealing the food and we're not allowed to keep it in our rooms. So when I first got here, the pantry was locked. Now they say the pantry is unlocked and there's like an honor system or, whatever. But so nobody's stolen my shit. But again, all I've had since I've been here is like 2 bowls of ramen. So like they're probably not trying to steal that shit. I don't know who was stealing what. I never got the specifics on that, but I don't feel like it's something I have to worry about. Also, there's cameras in the main room, so I feel like you would see anybody going in and out of the pantry. Um, so if like exactly when your shit got stolen, like I don't know. I feel like it would work itself out, but not something I have to. I'm gonna stress myself out about. It's like yeah. Um, yeah. What else? Is there anything else? Yeah. I don't know. I'm yeah. So I sang Jim Croce at karaoke last night, and um, because everybody was like, "Oh, you have to do it. It's a rite of passage," and blah blah blah. And I was like, "Okay, well, I'll do this one song." And then I was like, and we don't have like the greatest karaoke system. And by the way, I never do karaoke. I've never done karaoke, like not even when I'm drunk. So like the one and only time I've ever done karaoke, and I'm in a rehab, and nobody's ever gonna hear it except for y'all. Um, so I did the Jim Croce, and I was like, then I was like, I want to pick a song that's like, like where I'm not going to be like singing up over the speaker. And I was already like, well, maybe I should just do this without a microphone because my voice is already like naturally so loud, or I can be loud when I'm singing. I was like, well, this is a nice mellow song, and it's gonna, I'm gonna be able to like, yeah. And so I did it, and it was very good. I was proud of myself. And then, other people aren't going to tell you suck. No, so I don't think I probably did not suck, but I'm also the only, semi-professional singer in the house. So everybody else is like, um, but there were a couple of really good singers. Like yeah, so they were the women, by and large. Just I was like, wow, all right, she could be in a band. Um, but everybody's just doing it for fun, like we're all here, try to fucking make the best out of it, and that's really what it's all about. Thank you, Sammy. Appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. So I can't. Well, anyway, not gonna make a bad joke. I'm not gonna make a bad joke. Oh, thank you, John. Yeah. Well, I try to think I'm getting better every day. So I say like every day of sobriety is a better day. Appreciate it, John Hudson. I'm a Sammy professional singer. Making me laugh. Um, yeah, that's what I tell everybody. Like, as shitty as some days get, every day I stay sober is another day of getting better. And I like to think, even this morning I had to like, whatever. I didn't apologize because I was like, I'm not gonna say I'm sorry because sorry's for sorry people, yada yada yada. But I had to write out this little spiel I was gonna do in the group this morning because I said some shit in the group on Friday, and I didn't really, I felt like I had some good stuff to say, but it probably wasn't received well because I brought it because of the time and the place that I brought it up and the way that I presented it. And so today I had to be like dial it back and be like, okay, so I'm not sorry for what I said, but I realized that I still have shit to work on. And there's like one part of this which is getting sober and staying sober. But the more important part is like changing your attitude and your behavior and the shit that got you into this position in the first place where you have to be in a fucking rehab because you could stop using all day long and drinking and shit and still be the same old asshole and not really address your fucking problems and then you're probably even more of an asshole. They call you dry drunk or whatever, and that's the stage I'm in. I'm like every day, oh fuck, I don't like that part of myself. I need to fucking like work on that shit. And so you find different shit like that every day. It's like instead of getting stoned and drunk and fucking being like, well, fuck it, I fucked up. Let's just have a beer and forget about it. And I'd be like, oh, I have to sit and stew in that shit all weekend and find a way to fucking actually like face these people and myself tomorrow and try to do something better with myself. And that's the harder part, like if I was just here, just, being like, well, I'm cut off from the outside world, no drugs and alcohol here, and I can be all the type of asshole I want, and, whatever, that's not really going to change anything. So it's all about like modifying behavior so that you like, handle shit differently once you get back out into the world, you know. And they tell this story every day. It's like a lot of people that just leave here, and like as soon as you get out that gate and reality sets in, you start fucking panicking. What are you gonna go for? You're gonna go for your drug of choice, your drink of choice, or whatever. Like, I don't want to do that, and that's been like my main thing. Like other than the fact that I want to actually like change my life for the better and be a better person, I don't ever want to have to fucking go through detox again. That shit was fucking miserable. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. It's still the hardest thing I've ever done. You know, like it's still hard every day because I'm so accustomed to having my way and smoking weed, and weed takes a long ass time to come out of your system, and the brain's all getting rewired and stuff. So, yeah, I'm like, even, you know, so, yeah, I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought there because, like I told my counselor earlier, like I still think about smoking weed every day. And I still have cravings for weed every day, and I'm still trying to convince myself that the first thing I'm gonna do, the first, that the first, wait, that going to get weed or smoke weed is not the first thing I'm going to do when I get out of this place. That's the hardest one for me to kick. Like I'm not thinking about alcohol or fucking meth or whatever, you know, but I miss fucking pot. Pot's been like my bestest friend. You know, besides y'all are my bestest friends too. But weed was definitely like, it's like weed is not your friend. Weed is a drug. Oh, but you know, like, different relationship with the thing. You know, that's what it's all about. Like you still, and you know, I'm not judging people who do it. I just like, even for me, like if I did go back to doing it again in some capacity, like I can't go back to smoking weed like I used to because um, it had a hold on me. It was killing my motivation. Where it used to make me creative, now it's like killing my motivation to be creative. You know, like I used to like get stoned and go play guitar and write songs, and now it's like I get stoned and I'm like, yeah, I'll play guitar later. Maybe I'll just put on some music instead. And I can't be doing that anymore. It's like, fuck, dude, like I haven't written anything worth a shit in quite a while, except, you know, when I was on meth, I wrote this song that I have here. It took me like 3 days to write this fucking song, and I still don't consider it like 100% finished, but I wrote this fucking song during my last relapse before I went into detox after I got kicked out of the outpatient. And I'm like, it's not bad. I'm trying to get somewhere in this fucking notebook. But you know, the motivation behind that was like feeling totally shitty and trying to figure out where I could go, like, you know. And yeah, it's like the main part. It's like a super sad song too, in a sense, because it's like I don't know. It's somewhere in this fucking notebook. Obsessed on it. I'm going back through a story that I wrote while I was mostly drunk in 2018, and I'm like reading back through it as a sober person. Oh, you're gonna have to cut this whole passage because you were too drunk to even write coherently. And I remember too because I was reading a bunch of H.P. Lovecraft, and I remember from the H.P. Lovecraft, the part of the he does like um, the sections where he's like, oh, during this period of his career, blah, 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 blah. And I specifically remember, like, he was, oh, during this period of his career, he was drinking a lot. And I was like, oh, HP wrote like that when he was drunk. I can do that. And so it's some combination of those two influences where I was like, oh, I could just get shit faced and try to write some Lovecraft type style shit. And it's fucking weird, man. Like, I'm revising the whole thing. I'm like, okay, gotta go back through it because like nobody understands this nonsense with me. But anyway, let me see. What does this say? Oh, gee, bus. Oh yeah, I hear it's very allowed. It's very rare. I'm just reading the comment. It's very rare that they allow phones at all in these places. So I just got off of. They made us wait 7 days. They make us black out for 7 days from our phones. So the staff has had my phone all week today. I just got it back. So, and I'm already totally addicted again. In response to you, Maynard's saves. And yeah, so now it's like we're still not like really allowed to use them in groups and shit. And we have groups most of the day.
Dinner time. I gotta
Sounds like fucking hella early. All right. Um. Yeah. So. They're like 20 minutes early with dinner. Okay. Cool. Um. But yeah, so it's still going to be like generally frowned upon to use the phone too much, and I'm not going to tell anybody what I'm doing here. I'll probably tell him eventually. It's just like, yeah. John Hudson kicked heroin twice, once at 18 and once at 52. Damn, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I got this right now. You know, I feel strong. Like I hear about people who have been out of here like half a dozen times and shit. I'm like, I can't fucking do it. I can't fucking do it. Now, alcohol, yeah, it might be easier, manner saves. Um, but coming off of, like I said, all the substances at once, and then they gave me Valium when I first went into detox, which I was not happy about. I took myself off the Valium, where I told them no more. Um, oh, okay. Apparently the Wi-Fi is going to shit on me. What the fuck? That's coming back. Okay, well, I guess I better what? Do what? What's it say if I call it? Quit while I'm ahead. That's right. Old habits die hard. I'm I like that idea. Goodbye to alcohol is a song. All right. Yeah. I didn't get through all the comments, so I'm sorry. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Learning to live with what it is and non-attachment and all those different concepts I'm still processing. So I'm gonna get up out of my comfy, cozy bed here and go out into the common area and do dinner. Then we do a checkout group every night after dinner, and probably gonna go try and find a cigarette. And yeah, thank you to everyone for being here, for your love and kindness and support, and to Sammy for your generous contribution. And yeah, I'm gonna probably try and do as many of these as I reasonably can while in facility. But as you might be able to tell, it's you know, it is what it is. I am not in control here, and that's one of the main reasons I am here to relinquish control and have my comfort zone level challenged constantly. So it's like a very rigid, structured schedule every day. I've got groups and meetings to attend all day, and very little free time. This, so yeah, we'll make the best of it though. So much love to everyone, and be kind and be well, and stay trusty. And I'll see you next time.